Many days ago, reports came out that Israeli troops faced resistance from Syrians in the small town of Abdin. Israeli troops fired warning shots at walls and between protesters before firing artillery rounds at the village. Seeing this, residents fought back by throwing rocks and blocking roads to fend off the military. On the face of this clash is commonplace during war. However, it reveals a string of cases that highlight Israel's creep into and against Syria. After the former Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad was ousted in 2024, Israel transported troops into a UN demilitarized zone that separates Israel and Syria and deeper parts of Syrian territory, a move that violates the 1974 disengagement agreement. Israel has justified their occupation as defense from armed terrorists coming from the fall of this former Syrian government. The zone acts as a buffer between the state of Syria and Israel. However, Israel already has a buffer zone, which is the Golan Heights, a region belonging to Syria which they illegally began occupying after the War of Yom Kippur in 1967. In recent months, Israel has intensified military operations in the area. The Syrian Sigil Center, which monitors Israeli activity in Syria, has recorded over 1,298 incidents including raids, property damage, or temporary detention since January. Many Israeli military outposts have also sprouted along the buffer zone, putting further pressure on Syria and local towns. Since Syria's transitional government is still rebuilding after years of civil war, they have a limited capacity to respond militarily. The international community has also condemned the actions as breaches of international law and a violation of Syria's sovereignty. Despite the backlash, Israel has said that they would occupy the buffer zone for an unlimited time to protect Israeli citizens and prevent hostile enemies from gaining a foothold. Back in the small town of Abdin, one resident interviewed by AP News said they come in armored 4x4 vehicles. They roam around the village and search some houses. They knock on doors, and if people don't answer the door, they break it down and enter the houses. Abdin, subject to greater surveillance and military patrols by Israel, is located just outside the buffer zone, which suggests that Israel's military activities increasingly extend beyond boundaries set by the international community. And in 2025, Netanyahu said that he wants the complete demilitarization of southern Syria, with demilitarization meaning that the land is stripped of any infrastructure that would threaten Israel. Al Jazeera reports that there have been over 800 incursions into Syrian territory between December 2024 and January 2026, with one operation reaching 40 miles deep into the countryside. According to the Armed Conflict Location and Event Data Organization, Israel has also launched more than 600 air, drone, or artillery attacks across Syria, averaging nearly 2 attacks a day in 2025. They have also played an increasing role in interstate conflicts within Syria, sending a wave of airstrikes on the capital after the Druze population in Syria, who are allied with Israel, came into conflict with the neighboring Bedouin. This has only inflamed sectarian tensions as the Druze in Syria seek independence, sparking further instability within the newly formed Syrian government. Recently, they have finalized a 210-seat transitional parliament and have elected lawmakers, though decisions on how to deal with Israel still remain stagnant. Still, since the Syrian government is still reconstructing from the destruction caused in the insurgency, they leave themselves as victims to aggressors that have no thought of stopping anytime soon.